Welcome back to Kicking It Back. Today is Thursday, June 23rd, and in honor of the recent Father's Day, we figured we'd have our friend Howie Grows back on because he's a future father. Welcome to the show, Howie.
What?
That was good.
Who told you that?
It was confirmed, right? Little Howard Jr. You're junior, right?
People are gonna get the wrong idea.
How you been, brother?
I do refer to myself as daddy.
How's it going, bro?
Going great. You know, how much different is it? What was it, about a year ago that we did our first show together?
Ooh, yeah.
Probably.
It was that last summer.
Think about
Yeah.
I think it was like July, August last year.
Yeah.
Bro, we're all in different spots. I mean, Preston's
I'd
big
say.
boy job. I got a big boy job. Haven't got fired yet.
Jarrett's not big boy job yet.
Yeah, well, whatever. But you know, you got this new studio.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, sponsored by Gross Investments. Give us a little rundown. What's going on here?
Damn straight. So yeah, I mean, I come in here when I can, but we're in Medina. Was it 3218? I should know the address.
You should know that. I do not.
On Pearl Road. It's either 3218 or 3812. I'm dyslexic, but yeah. I mean, we've got the signage up. We've got a couple of TVs. We've got a couch. We've got good places for our clients to come in and meet and discuss where we're at. So yeah, I mean, everything's going great. So,
Soon to have a mini fridge.
yeah.
Update on the mini fridge. So the mini fridge was in my room in college. For everyone that doesn't know, I told Howie I'd get it back and it would go in here. You know, I'd help out a little bit. So he's gonna get the mini fridge. Matt Kravanik, my roommate, just brought it back. This thing is kind of heavy. I lived in basically the attic in our house in Columbus. No AC up there. Like, you had to put it in your own unit. So he just moved it out the other day. I was like, dude, that had to have been a pain. He goes, dude, I was sweating. Like, and he's an in-shape guy. Yeah, so the mini fridge, it's in Brunswick. It's just on the far opposite end of Brunswick, so
Probably
I'll get
a
it this
two-man
week.
job.
Yeah, I was going to say, we might have to snag it. I could probably get it, but, you know, at least when we get here, we might need a second. I'm out Matt Kravanik.
I actually got a chair that I want to get up here too. It goes with the couch and shit.
Nice. Is this the
So-
chair we were supposed to bring up?
Yeah, it just hasn't happened because I've been lazy.
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, we heard you too.
I got to get closer.
Talking.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh, for sure. Because
Yeah.
you know I'm hard to hear.
Yeah, so you were just talking about the last episode we did with Johnny. You said you liked it. Well, give us a little recap. I don't know what stuff stuck out to you.
He had some good bits because people. I don't know. Johnny is, people know him just for jumping off of shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Or wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling.
That too,
We're just
yeah.
not big wrestlers. Like he said, the community's
Right.
tight. So
Right.
He just he was talking about guilt, actually. This is what I remember, and because I don't know, I have not to get too deep on a Wednesday, but or Tuesday,
Thursday,
whatever day this is airing. But he says, yeah, you know, if you feel guilty, there's a reason, so you should try to figure out why, and then not do that again, right? So
Yeah.
like I don't know, I feel like I'm a very self-conscious person, despite what you may think. You know, I'm like, I'll question what I said, I'll this and that, and I'm like, you know, so I think it's good to say, hey, I'm going to sit back and evaluate what I said. I think it's either good or not good, and then just move forward. And like, I think that's what he was trying to say. I thought it was great. So, and again, like, you wouldn't think like a guy like that with his persona would be able to get that deep, but he does. I just enjoyed listening to it. I thought it was good.
yeah, I
sure.
agree.
There was other stuff, but I can't.
yeah.
Right.
I'm
off
not
the
thinking
spot.
of it right now.
For sure.
So,
Yeah, dude. He's always a treat to have in. We haven't had too many people actually in the studio yet. We've been a little lazy.
He
We'll be
loved
the
it.
first. Yeah, he loves it in
yeah.
here. Yeah,
That's
he thought it was
good.
great. It's everything about it just is a little bit more professional. You don't got to worry about my dogs barking in the background. Remember they hated you. You helped us
Yes.
start up the LLC. They hated
Yes.
you. They
Yeah.
hated you.
I don't like that. I don't want that to be known. to be honest.
Dogs judge character. They say.
They do, and that's why I didn't like that. I don't know, but like Abby, my dog will get real pissed off if someone's got like long sleeves on,
Yeah.
or if they have a hat on.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
And then she gets weird about other dogs, especially bigger ones. But like if someone brings their dog over and they like back down to her, she's cool. But like if the dog keeps messing with her, she'll freak. Like,
Yeah.
and she gets
Yeah.
pissed.
For sure.
But she's also a chicken shit, you know.
Yeah.
So but yeah. Did you want me to tell the story about how I got
Yeah.
calls from Copper
Yeah,
Top?
so to fill the people in, we're driving here. Howie has me pick him up. Yeah, Howie has me pick him up. He's like, hey, did you hear about me and who was it? You and
Trent.
Trent, yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, you want me to tell this? Or he's like, did you hear about what happened with us at Copper Top? I'm like, you guys got kicked out of Copper Top? And he's like, yeah, I'll just save it for the show. So I've been actually itching to hear this one. I don't know how you get kicked out of Copper Top. You're a member now there.
I am. I'm a proud member. So it's really not that exciting, honestly. There was no alcohol involved. We were there at like 7 a.m. So
Bullshit.
I swear on my life. So
There was still some involved from the night before.
no, I promise. So we were like during the week we like to, because I start work at 9 at Parma Heights, and we'll try to sneak in 9 holes before work, you know. So I'm like yeah, we'll go on Friday. I go, and he's like, I don't really think you need to book a tee time. Like, it's not a big deal. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, you don't think Friday morning at 7. So we get there, and I don't know who's working. I would think these kids would know me by now, and I don't, like, no hard feelings. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal, but I would think they would know us. So we walk in, and the kid's like, yeah, we got an outing going off at 8. We can't let you out. And we're like looking at the parking lot. There's no carts. So I'm thinking, if there's an outing going out at 8, like, they should be like set up. Right, so we're like, okay, fine. So
They weren't lying to you, though. I can promise you that.
Yeah, they didn't just make it up.
They didn't tee off at 8. So Trent's like, he goes, well, we're just gonna walk, you know. And the kid's like, kind of like didn't say anything. He goes, no, we'll just walk, and then when we see someone, we'll pick up and we'll leave. Like, we won't get in anyone's way. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Even if we sneak in a few holes, so we go off 10, we play 10, 11, 12, and we're record pace walking. I mean, I think we finished 5 holes in like under an hour or something, you know. So these kids came out and they told Trent, like, hey, you guys got to leave, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, he goes at 7:45, he goes, you guys don't even have pins set or like tee markers, and there's no chance there's an outing starting at 8. Like, there's no chance. So I'm like, all right.
This is the most Howie story of all
Yeah, it
time.
is. Yeah, it is.
We keep playing. We get that on 15. Yeah, it gets good. So so we're on 15, par 5. For those of you who don't know, hitting our second, third shots into the green, and this, like, a bigger guy's driving down, and he looks at me, and I know him, right? So I go up the sidelines and drink. It's my local watering hole. He's a bartender over there, right? So he's a bigger dude, like someone you would not want coming after you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Cool dude. So he comes over, and I go, hey, what's up, Joel? And he looks at me and he goes, I should have fucking known. I should have fucking known it was you. And I go, when did you start working here? He's like, a couple days ago. And I'm like, well, I'm glad it's you and not somebody else. And he goes, what the hell are you doing? He goes, you got the whole place upside down. These kids are upset and blah blah blah. And we're like we were just staying out of the way. You know what I mean? So we probably shouldn't have walked out, but whatever. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take you guys back. I'm like, all right. He's like, we'll finish the hole. I'm like, all right, cool, thanks, respect. So
You got kicked out after.
we got kicked
so,
out.
So
After,
when you rolled up there, was the whole parking lot full?
no, it was empty. There was nobody there. Like, there was like 3 cars. That's why we were
This
like,
has got to be. I don't buy that. Like, if
There's
I pulled the security
somewhere
footage,
in his
yes.
story, there's
Bro.
flawed.
I promise you, whatever kid was working, if you're listening to this, if it's like a Cody Merrill or
Yeah.
someone,
I
we
don't
want
know.
you on the show. And we want to hear it from your point of view. I
I'm
want to know.
I'm fine with that. I'm so bad at names. Number 1. Number 2, I know the one kid. The one kid's at the mullet.
Is
I
that
don't know
Nick Payne?
his name. He's
Good-
a cool kid.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Honestly,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other, I don't know the other kid, but I've seen him there like a million times. He knows who I am.
I mean,
whatever.
I'm just picturing myself as like an 18-year-old in the just working inside, and Howie and his friend just like basically tell the kids to fuck off. They're going to walk. I would be like, I mean, what do I do? What do I say? Like,
yeah.
these guys are going no matter what I say.
I will say, if that is the one flaw. Okay, so Donna is the head at
Yeah.
Copper Top. She's awesome. She's a great person.
Yeah.
What I'm getting by that is when I worked at Bunker, I was the youngest person there, If you walked in and Chad Gibson of Bunker Hill was the guy working the pro shop and told you couldn't play, no
ain't
chance
playing.
you would have walked out there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Trent said.
Yeah.
He said the exact same thing.
It literally was only because they had such young people,
Oh, yeah.
and they put and that's part of it though. But like, I just feel like if that was Bunker Hill, that doesn't happen just because you would have been like, oh, okay, sorry, and then like left. It's just like a
No doubt.
I also really wanted to play golf before work.
yeah.
It was a gorgeous morning. As I sit here and tell you about it, I kind of feel bad, but it's also really funny.
No,
So,
it is funny. That is funny. So the outing
Yeah.
was that were they going off when you came in?
And it was for like a BW softball team.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm alumni. Come on. Wait, I can stay out here as long as I want, you know?
That is
so.
unbelievable.
But no, I mean, it was not really a huge deal.
No, yeah. That's
Besides
funny,
the whole
though.
course being, I really want to see what that parking lot looked like when you rolled up.
Bro,
There was not 3 cars.
Nobody there. There wasn't a single cart in the parking lot. And that's what we said. Like, if you need the carts to set up, fine. We'll walk.
If you guys would have had a car, you probably would have just finished the 9 holes.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. Are you
oh my
both
God.
members?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were paying customers,
Maybe not after this podcast.
yeah.
Yeah, Jim might be like, "No, you're fucking done."
I'm all right. Love you to death. I have to. I feel like I'm gotta be on Team Copper Top here though. Like I feel like you were definitely in the wrong here.
And especially
That's
because
fine.
it was Copper Top.
Yeah.
Like, you got offered this, like, membership that not everyone got offered, and then you pulled that shit.
That's the
where
thing.
you
You
have
get the
an
title
outing.
member, and you think you just fucking run
Yeah.
the world.
Are you saying I overstayed my welcome?
I think maybe a touch.
That story made it sound like you overstayed your welcome.
Maybe I need to retell it.
You should have went over to like Bunker. I guess you paid for the Copper Top thing.
Well, no, I mean, my time was limited. I mean, because teeing off at 7, I'm still cutting it close
Yeah,
because I got to drive 30 minutes. We went. What the hell was the name of the course? It's like Ridgewood in Parma.
Yeah.
And it's like 3 minutes from City Hall. So it's like we went there and teed off at like 7:30. And I got to leave at like 7:55 and make it, or like 8:55 and I make it in
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I didn't really think about it. I think I was like so tired that I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna follow his lead. I didn't really think anything of it. So
See, now he's throwing the blame. He's like, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, it was all Trent.
yeah.
All right, change of pace here, though. All right, world's a little weird right now. Markets really fucking shit. You're kind of the finance guy.
How do you handle that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is not. What's the term you got to say? Like, this isn't.
It's not financial advice.
Yes. Okay. So this
Yeah.
is not financial advice,
But
but
the
you know,
disclosures
like,
on there,
enlighten
though.
people,
Yeah.
Educate. Obviously, you know what's going on. At least I don't know if anyone really knows what's going on, but you know what I mean. You have a better understanding than the average Joe. Break down what's going on right now.
Sure. I mean, the only constant in my world is change. So you can look at history and say, hey, there was a crash. There was the dot-com bubble. There was 2008. There was the flash crash of 2020. Stuff like that. They're all different. This is a very unique time, and you can compare it to the early 80s when we had crazy high inflation. But inflation was in the same kind of territory we're in now. But you could also go to the bank and make 12 to 15% off of a savings account.
Yeah.
So right now, everything costs more. People aren't getting paid enough. My fear is at some point in time, people are going to look at each other and say, hey, we can't go out anymore. We're not going to go out and drink beers. We're not going to go out and get food. We're going to eat ramen noodles and shut ourselves in until everything calms down. And I think that would cause a huge problem.
That's how a recession starts, right? When people stop spending their money.
Right. So people kind of think we're in the early stages of recession. I mean, and again, the stock market doesn't
Feels like it.
necessarily stock market doesn't necessarily dictate like the actual market, right? I mean,
Yeah.
in 2020, everyone's at home and the stock market drops. The S&P, I think it's probably peak drop maybe 35%, and then it jumps up. I mean, by June or July, don't quote me because I'm not 100%, but I mean, you're back to even by July or August. I mean, if you simply buy the dip and sit there, you're a winner. But now you're looking at, hey, Bitcoin's what, 20,000?
Yep.
A stock like Upstart in November of 21 or October 21 was like $380, now it's sitting at $38, something like that. So you've seen a reckoning of especially in tech companies. I mean, they've just got beat to shit. But if you're in energy right now, you're up. I mean, there's models like Market Guard has models that are, I can't talk performance, but they're up. So it's a proprietary, non-emotional, methodical approach. You know?
So, So what would need to happen for you to be like, okay, there's quite possibly a recession on its way? Is there anything that would determine that for you, or would it just happen and you'd be like, fuck, we're in a recession?
I guess, are you talking about a recession in terms of the world economy or in
Yeah.
terms of,
Yeah.
okay, so not like the stock market?
No. I mean, they go hand in hand, don't they?
Kind of, but the stock market's forward looking. So like when you, like the pandemic's a great example. So like when everything tanked, there's no logic in saying I should buy companies right now that literally are shut down or not doing business, but
Right.
they are, because they know how much lower can they go.
Right.
I'm buying the future, right?
Right.
It's like buy the rumor, sell the news,
Right.
kind of thing. So I don't know. I mean, it's the stock market's always going to try to look ahead. So since the stock market's been going down, maybe logic tells you that that's where the economy's headed. I think right now it depends on who you talk to. I mean, you're going to hit a tipping point at some point. You know, in '08, you're talking about people that had mortgages that should not have had them. That'd be like if I went and bought $1 million house and the mortgage is $4,000 a month, like I make $3,000 a month, I shouldn't have it. But
Yeah.
if you had a pulse, you could get a mortgage. It didn't
Yeah.
Right.
matter. Things have been tightened up on that since then, but now you have people that are like overpaying for houses, things like that, and there's two sides of that coin. Two people think, oh, real estate's inflated, or some people think real estate's catching up for the past 10 years that we missed out on too.
Wow, I've never heard that take.
You know,
That makes I kind of see what you're saying with that though. I never thought about it from that perspective, because I would have been like, oh yeah, it's
actually my dad said that.
Yeah.
I kind of think he's right. But,
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about in our neighborhood, we bought that house for $180, $190 something.
Yeah.
I mean, the people, someone across the street from us, I won't say who, like someone on our street, they're selling their house and they've got offers off market for $400.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 25-year-old houses. Like
Yeah.
they're not. I mean, they're nice, but they're 25 years old.
Right,
I mean,
right. So going back to that, do you think that makes sense? Is the market catching up to that? Is that house worth $400,000?
How much of a role, and I'll also add too, because like Brunswick's doing a lot with like the school districts and all that kind of stuff. Like just built a new middle school, talks about building a new
Adds
high school.
value.
I was gonna say that adds. I mean, who wouldn't want to bring their family to Brunswick? It's, you know, their teachers just gotta, you know, didn't they just get a new contract kind of thing where
Yeah,
they're gonna start making more money and
There's a lot of low-income housing as well as like elderly
For sure.
housing coming in too.
I saw
So
that.
at some point, it's gonna. I think our schools are gonna get smaller here soon.
they've been shrinking.
Yeah.
Since
Like-
we
You
graduated,
think
they're
so?
already down
Yeah.
in size.
Really?
No,
I heard that
think,
from someone.
I think they're gonna get a lot smaller.
And middle school didn't shrink. Holy
No,
shit.
definitely didn't.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of that. But yeah,
When you look at something like that, everything in its simplest term, that house, that stock, this beer, my phone is only worth what someone else is willing to pay for it.
Yep.
So you could, and this is like when you buy stocks, not only do you have to have a buying plan, you have to have a selling plan. You could own a company that you love, right? But at some point, that stock's for sale, right? I could drive my truck. I love my truck, right? I have a lot of sentimental value attached to it. I bought it brand new for $42,000, right? At some point, if someone said, "I want to buy your truck," and I said, "It's not for sale." At some point, it's for sale. Like if you
Right.
offer me enough, I'll sell it to you.
Right.
So like stocks are the same thing, just like houses, just like anything else. So I think when you see a quote unquote recession, what's going to happen, in my opinion, and I'm not an I know economics, but I'm not an economist, right? So I won't pretend like I am. You're going to see something like that happen when people decide that everything is too expensive and they're just going to stop spending money. They're going to stop traveling. They're going to stop going places. I mean, because what keeps your local economy flowing is money being spent, money being made, and just in
Cash flow.
flowing through
Yep.
flowing through a local economy. Exactly.
Sure.
So, I mean, if you see that stop, that's when prices get lower, right? If you can't sell something, you lower the price, you lower the price, you lower the price. But that's really going to be the only way that you stop inflation, because if people want to bitch about inflation, but if you continue to pay the prices that you see, you're not going to stop inflation, right? The only way you're going to stop it is if you look at someone and say, I'm not paying that price.
Yeah. You think time of the year? Honest to God, like in Ohio, we'll just say, it's a little bit nicer weather. I feel like people are in a little bit better moods. Like we only get 12 months of the year that are in good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more likely
yeah.
to go out to the bar or go out, to a restaurant, or I don't know. I feel like time of the year kind of plays a role where, like, if it was in the colder months, you asked me to go out, maybe I'm kind of like, I don't know, gas is a little high, like, the roads have a little snow on them, I think I'll pass. You know what I mean? Do you think that could alter into it too?
It probably could around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't know. You look at it from a global scale. I mean, people are still making money. People are still spending money. You have again, it's a unique situation because I don't know if you could really call it a recession. I don't see a scenario where unemployment goes back up unless people do what I said and then companies start laying people off. I mean, and some companies are, but not really. I mean, most companies are literally desperate for workers.
See, I'm seeing it's both sides. Like on LinkedIn, I'll see major companies like I don't know, just for example, like Sendoso. Have you guys heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like a company where major companies like mine, for example, partner with them, and each employee gets $400 or whatever, and you send it to your people you're trying to sell to as like an incentive. So like I just sent someone today like a $10 Starbucks gift card. Didn't come out of my pocket. Company paid for it. Quick link. They just laid off a bunch of people. I mean, that's a huge company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one wants, like you pointed out the other day, everyone says that they're hurting for work, they need employees, These people aren't paying people what they should be. When gas is $5 a gallon and you want someone to drive 45 minutes into the office every day to and from work, you kind of need to be paying them a little bit more money. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's what's separating a lot of companies. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, it'll be easy to get a job right now. Well, yeah, if you want to go work for $40,000 and barely get by, you know what I mean?
Right.
Break even and work 40 hours. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's the other issue right now that Preston pointed out, and it's very valid.
I think the opportunity, now that you said that, there's a big opportunity for younger people. Like, because if they live at home and they have no expenses, they can go to Taco Bell and make fucking $20 an hour.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah. I mean, high schoolers right now
Bro,
are like
crazy.
They don't even know how good they got it.
You know what? This inflation, too, is not only driven by poor economic policy and poor energy policy. Here's the thing about the economy of any nation. If you have energy prices and wage prices increase, everything else goes with it. Everything. Because your food is shipped. Your products are shipped. Your people have to drive to work. If a company's spending more money on wages, which is most of the time their top expense or one of the top expenses with not only just wages, but wages, benefits, blah, 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 it's going to drag everything else with it. So it just becomes a vicious cycle. So like you get these politicians that go, and it's not even Democrat, Republican, it doesn't fucking matter. You want to say, hey, I want $15 an hour minimum wage. Well, what do you think that's going to do? I mean, let's use me as an example, okay? Like I've had a landscaping company that at one point was kind of big, but it's always been very small, right? So let's just say I have a couple of guys that I got to hire and pay, and I mean, 15 now is nothing.
Right.
But like if you look at like 5 years ago, I used to pay kids $10-12 an hour cash to come and help me move mulch, right? And I would charge.
And that was pretty good money.
No, that was great money.
Right, and I would charge $60 to $70 a yard to install it, and my margins were pretty good. But if all of a sudden the 3 people I have on a 10-hour job, hey, you've got to pay them a bare minimum of 15. I'm paying now. It's costing me now 15 more an hour for 10. Like $150 is a lot for someone that's starting.
Yeah.
And to their margin, like if my profit is 500 and it's cut to 150. I mean do the math. That's 25. What is that? 20% less. So when you do that to small businesses that have 15, 20, 25 employees, they'll fire people. They have no choice. So the intent there is good, right? You want people to make more money, but you spreading mulch for a landscaping company shouldn't be your end job. Just like working at McDonald's shouldn't be your end job unless you want to work up in management. And I'm not saying anything against it, but I mean, why is it that people think that like minimum wage is supposed to be a living wage? It's not. That's not what it's designed to be.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
Right.
And I think that when you drive prices up like that, big companies can handle it. Just raise their prices. Smaller companies go out of business.
Right.
And that's the harsh reality. And people don't, that's what happens. I mean, like, and maybe restaurants are immune because they have tipped employees, but that's my thought on that.
Yeah.
So I think wages continue to increase, and energy is what's like that's the root of the inflation, right? again, just my opinion. And when you make your country energy dependent on other countries, they're going to take advantage, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why not? And these oil companies are taking advantage too because no one went anywhere for a year and a half. So there's the other side of the coin too, where, you know, whether gas is $5 or $2 or $7, people are going to pay it.
Yep.
You have to buy gas.
Yep.
Like it's so.
And at least in today's world, it's a wild world. So you talked about gas prices a little bit.
Is that a far enough rabbit hole for you?
I'm just saying.
Or do you want it to go deeper?
No, you're a big Instagram. You know, Instagram and Snapchat are your thing. You're vocal on them.
Yeah.
You have your opinions. You blame a lot of Joe Biden for the gas prices. I do want to say I understand. I've heard your take because I've asked. I like educating myself with both sides of the story. That's one thing I'm trying to get better at. Okay. Mm-hmm. You blame gas prices. You say it's always on your story. You're blaming Joe Biden. That's fine. That's what you believe. Gas prices in Canada are up too. Gas prices in Mexico, I'm sure, are up too. Why do you feel like it's Joe Biden? Is it because of all that increase? Is that why you're saying because everything's coming up with it? Is it because they cut off? Because you recently mentioned how we cut off a supply or we only took our oil from Russia. Was that what you said?
No.
There was something with Russia. I remember when the war happened, and then you were like, "Well, now we're screwed because we depend on what I mean. They kind of control. We can't do anything." I forget what your point was at the time.
So first off, great question.
Okay.
Blaming Joe Biden for everything has become a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's become a coping
Do you
mechanism.
actually believe that, or is that just because you just like doing it? Is it like funny?
He's a big part of the reason. He's not the sole reason.
Yeah.
Why?
I want to
prices
hear
are up.
your side of this.
And I try to be pretty objective. I mean, you guys think I'm some fucking Trumper. I'm really not. I mean, I'm just pro-American and pro-freedom. That's really all it is. And that's
Pro-American quote.
Yeah.
And that probably makes me a domestic terrorist. So, so what happened when Joe Biden got into office? The first thing he did is he shut down the Keystone Pipeline and he stopped drilling on federal land.
Yes.
If I'm mistaken, someone please correct me, but I'm pretty sure those two things are a fact. Once that happened, you saw a gradual increase in oil. In my opinion, what Putin is, and I don't know how long he's been in charge in Russia, but he's said over the years he wants to take back Ukraine. He wants the traditional Soviet Union back. Blah blah blah. So when you see a leader come in to the United States that is probably the weakest leader we've had, whether you love or hate Trump, not about him. Look at the person that's there now. He's weak, right? He doesn't know what's going on, and it's kind of sad, to be honest. I mean, it's sad. I almost feel bad for the guy, but
No, you don't.
Putin looks at this guy, okay,
No, you
and he
don't.
looks at the United States. We're fighting each other about we're fighting each other about racism. We're fighting people about. Look, we're fighting each other. It's always divisive, right? It's Roe v. Wade. It's all this divisive stuff. And we're really not that different, in my opinion. Putin looks at this and says, I'm never going to get a better opportunity because he knows Trump's trigger-happy finger would probably start World War III. and I say that because Putin would have known that and said, we're probably not going to do it. He knows we're not going to do shit. We're not going to do a goddamn thing. So when he does that and he attacks Ukraine...
Is that our job?
Is what our job?
To be the big brother of the world?
No, but we sent $40 billion there. Where did that go?
I don't know, man.
I don't know either. So the long short of it. Here's my point is, so
How do you transfer $40 billion?
I don't know. It's
Venmo.
our money, by the way.
Venmo.
Yeah.
It's just a business account,
PayPal.
though. Yeah. Hit a cash app. You just got to put them all together.
So-
10 on this one. It's like
Yeah.
credit cards. 10 on this one. 10 on this one.
Yeah. Hey, we'll get you $20 billion today.
Yeah.
We'll send the rest later. Yeah. So, you have this going on, and I think Putin's licking his chops, right? He's got an opportunity, so he pounces. When he does that, Russia supplies, and again, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I am. Russia supplies like 80% of the EU with oil, and they also send oil to us. They don't send a substantial amount of oil to us, but not only did that happen, what also happened was we stopped producing our own. So we get a lot of oil from Canada. We don't really get much from the Middle East anymore, to my knowledge. I think last time I checked, I think Canada was supplying us like 60% of our oil. But what's happened is we've emboldened Russia to do whatever they want because we've shown that we're weak and we've shown that we won't produce our own energy. Right now, if in my opinion, if Joe Biden or anybody cared about the country, they would start producing oil here and let the corporations save money so they could lower the prices. But the corporations are being greedy as corporations normally are, and they're jacking prices up because they're making up for a year and a half of nobody going anywhere. So it's not just Joe Biden, but his energy policies have not helped anybody.
What's the downfall of producing oil here? There's got to be something. There's got to be something.
People say environmental, it's destructive, it's this and that and whatever, and sure, but so what we want to do, we want to do business with people in the Middle East instead of just making oil here and people can be employed. I don't know. You get electricity, you charge your Tesla, where do you think all your electricity comes from? It comes from coal. So what I don't like is hypocrisy. I think it's bullshit, and I think that both sides are guilty of it right now. Like, you look at something like Roe v. Wade, and you've got one side going, oh my God, you want my body, my choice. You won't let people do what they want, and then the other side's like, oh my God, like these are babies. You're killing. It's like both sides are like nuts. I mean, so now there's pro-life, there's pro-choice, and then there's pro-abortion. Like, there's people that are like, get that thing out of you. It's like it's insane. It's like, you know what? This is an issue that should be private. I don't think the government has any fucking place to tell a woman or anybody to what they should and shouldn't do. I really don't.
Yeah.
I personally don't support it, but hey, I mean, what are we fighting about here? Like, is that going to change your life? All it does is just it divides people. Like, I work with many Democrats at my job, and I care for them very much. I'm very fond of them. But
so are you Republican?
No, I would say that I'm like, my values are more conservative, but I don't want to identify with a party, you know?
Isn't that messed up though that you have to identify with
There's
the party?
a fucking label on everything.
Yeah,
I mean, think about that.
Like you pointed out, we're just this is from like the most unbiased standpoint of all time, and everyone can agree to this. We are so, like you've said, we are so fucking caught up on fighting each other right now.
It's horrible.
Like, all right, so if we're at the dinner table, okay, and we're eating the same fucking thing, and my food's in front of me, I'm not going to go fucking pick off your plate. That's like, we need to fucking eat our plate first, and then we can fucking eat their other people's plates. Like, I don't know. That's my fucking take on it.
So
everything.
Howie, if you don't need to identify with everything, you support these new genders and things like that can say that they don't identify?
I'm sure. I don't have an issue with it.
Okay.
I don't.
That kind of does. I like that because that shows that you're not like hard set. Republican.
No, I'm not. I don't need, what I don't like from either side is I don't need people jamming shit down my throat.
Right.
If you want to, if there are, here's the thing, there are people that have legitimate, like, hey, they're like, hey, I got to make a change. Like, this is how I've always been, and everyone around them's seen it,
right,
kind of thing. And then there's some people that are doing it as a fad, and then there's some people that are trying to push it on 5 and 6 year old kids.
Yeah.
So there's a limit, right? If you want to do that, that's fine, but don't take less than 1% and try to broadcast it on the whole world. That's the whole thing. The loudest 3% of Americans aren't Americans. That's not what America is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I kind of.
But I have no issue with it. To me, it's like, I don't care, your boy,
right,
girl, whatever.
Right.
I try to treat people with kindness and respect, just like I hope they do to me. Like, so who the fuck am I to judge you for what you want to do with your life?
Right. It shocked the shit out of me, though. I'll be honest. The other day, my brother, well, probably a couple weeks ago now, brother comes home from school. He's in 5th grade. He has this like picture with everyone from his 5th grade class. I'm like, all right, who's dating who? He's like, this girl's dating this girl. This boy's dating this boy. He's pansexual. I'm like,
pansexual?
I'm like,
what?
hold up. What the fuck is pansexual? And at 5th grade, man, I can't even fathom thinking about a relationship to begin with. But like, just that they are this far.
I was just trying to go up a girl's shirt in the movie theater in 5th grade. I mean,
5th grade? You were taking girls in the movie theater? Dude, I was still scared to talk to girls. I had the biggest crush on a girl that was in the grade above me. Her name was Jasmine. I forget her last name.
Oh, you're gonna get yourself in trouble.
No, it was a 5th grade girl.
Yeah, you got your.
No, because I used to hang out with Gillespie and them.
Mad, dude. You don't know. You don't know.
No, but I used to hang out with Gillespie and them, and I forget, we all had like dumb crushes in the 5th grade, and I remember mine was Jasmine. I don't remember her last name right now, though. True love. Sorry, Madeline.
Yeah.
Jasmine, if you're listening.
So yeah, this is a different direction than we normally go on the show. By the way,
What do you mean?
you never went down this rabbit hole of politics with somebody.
We've never said we're one side or the other.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You've gone both sides, which I'm thankful for. I was scared you were going to go a little heavy on one side. But
I think we can all agree, though, whether it's us three or someone listening in their car and their headphones at the gym, nobody's very happy with kind of where the economy and where the world's at the moment. You can blame who you want. I'm not saying we're all going to agree on that part of it, but I think everyone can say no one's happy paying $5 plus for a gallon of gas. Nobody's happy paying 35% more for chicken at the grocery store. Nobody's happy. Nobody's happy with paying more. But
right.
I think that's the side more of the aspect of it is kind of just like an explanation. I know you educate yourself where, the economy, everything, you educate yourself on it. Someone doesn't have to agree with your opinions, but at least you have like facts and whatnot to back it up. That's why I figured it was good to open the door. Not a bad thing. So I guess I can roll into this next one while we got it rolling. I'm curious on your thoughts. Obviously, this is the problem with another problem with the world, the school shooting that happened in Texas.
Fucked up.
We talk about it for
So
a
sad.
week, right? Everyone's like, we need to do something.
It's gone.
You don't hear it anymore.
Guess what happened? Right? Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So my question is, obviously, I think something needs to happen, and I don't know what the answer is. Not saying you guys do either, but like, if anyone had some brainstorming thoughts, do you arm the teachers?
No.
I think you do. I would take the side that you do, but I don't.
So, Cam was telling me this. He saw it on Twitter or something like that. You take an ex-military.
Yeah, I saw this too.
You give him a gun. You put him in every school. You pay him $70K a year.
Yep.
Actually had a.
I mean,
You just gave $40 billion overseas. Why can't you do that?
that solves it. You don't have to arm teachers that have no idea how to shoot a gun.
That's not what I want. I want to arm teachers that have the training and feel that they can handle it.
But
There's two sides to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's when you see a teacher snap. A teacher snaps on a kid.
Yep.
Uses the gun. Okay, well, you put the gun in the school.
You're right.
There's an issue there.
I agree, but so I get the aspect. It could be like an adrenaline thing. It's in there. If some psychopath teacher was going to shoot up the school, I'm going to just say, name a teacher you had growing up as a kid. Random one. Any teacher. This is so, like, it's just for the name.
We're golfing
Mrs.
with
Smith.
that.
We'll just say Mrs. Smith,
Sure.
all right?
Sure.
Okay, this is a total made-up name. If Mrs. Smith had the intention of shooting up a school, Mrs. Smith walks in with, 2 purses and a backpack every day? Mrs. Smith could walk in with a gun and
She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
she could walk in and do whatever the hell. They don't scan. So, that is my thought on it. I see what you're saying with it. It could be used as, a threat.
I'm just saying more in the instance of kid pisses teacher off.
you
Like you've seen
even the
teachers
threat,
hit
just
students.
shows it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. You're
Yeah.
right. I get what you're saying.
Sit the fuck down, kid.
Yep.
You're
right.
Well-
There are some psychopaths out there, but that's my 2 cents, and I agree. That's why I'm saying we just need to people need to start talking about this and picking stuff out.
Well, there's been enough fucking talk.
Yeah.
Someone needs to do something. So I just kind of thought
But
of
no
this.
one knows what to do.
Because there's not a right
no,
answer.
I know,
Right.
no,
Not a
I
clear
know,
cut
I
answer.
know what to do. They don't. Neither side wants the solution because they profit off the problem. That's what politics has become. Why do you think? You think Donald Trump's not smart enough to unite the nation? He understands that if he drives a divide, he drives the other side so crazy, and he drives his side so crazy that he's the biggest topic of conversation. It's no different with all these hot button issues, like abortion, like school shootings. So there was when they were having the presidential debates, they were saying one life is too many with COVID, blah blah. The reality is a viral infection is going to kill some people. One life is way too many for children in school.
Mm-hmm.
We should not even think about kids dying in a school.
Yep.
It shouldn't even be a topic of discussion. So
Yep.
I really hope everyone can agree with that. So to take it a step further, if you make it easy for a criminal to be a criminal, they're going to be one. Look at this room, okay? If you had a daughter and you had to hire somebody to watch her while you're at work, would you hire a sex offender to babysit your kid? Probably not. So when you do that, whose fault is it? Like, so when you leave a school wide open, you know that people now historically have more mental issues than ever.
Yep.
Guns are probably too easy to get, which again might, hey, maybe not a Republican stance, but I don't think an 18-year-old kid, a boy that's dressing like a girl that has no father, no mother, lives with his grandma, and has like issued multiple threats, should be going and buying. Was that a $5,000 gun, by the way? So how the hell did he get that gun? That's a whole other.
Yeah.
Let's look into his bank records.
Because he can get drafted,
Let's look
though.
into his grandmother's bank
That's
records.
what it comes down to.
I mean, this is like, so that's the issue, right? I mean, people want to blame the gun. It's not the gun. And people don't understand why the Second Amendment was written. Biden's up there talking about, your deer's wearing Kevlar. Do you know why? I'll ask you both. Do you understand why the Second Amendment was written?
I do.
To protect yourself, right?
Against who?
The soldiers that couldn't they like staff themselves in your house or something along those lines?
Your turn.
I have no fucking clue.
I feel like I remember this from like 5th grade.
People think that it's to protect me against you. It's not. It's to protect yourself against a tyrannical government.
Mm-hmm.
Our government has nukes.
Yeah.
You think my shotgun or my M16 is going to stand a chance? I doubt it. So probably not. I'll probably lose. So
What would need to go your way to win that battle?
That button.
We gotta lighten the mood, everyone.
That little button they hit just
hold my breath in the
doesn't-
pool for 5
5
days. Yeah.
It's like the movie All Hell's Going
So-
On. Tommy's floating in the pool.
So that's why it's written. So like, that's what people miss. It wasn't written for hunting. Did you hear Trudy out talking about how, our citizens don't have a right to defend themselves with guns. They have a right to hunt. They have a right to go to shooting ranges. They don't have a right to defend themselves with guns. I mean, they're socialists. So to anyone that wants to be socialist, I say move there. No issue. You got no argument from me. This is the greatest country on earth right now, even as shitty as it feels. And to me, if I could do something to bring Democrats and Republicans and everybody together under common values of, we support being kind to one another, we support freedom, we support having good communities where our kids can go to school and be safe, where we don't get raked over the coals and we're paying for stuff. I mean, but like even that's small. I mean, when did common sense and when did just wanting a greater good become controversial? I don't.
Right.
That's what I don't get. It's like people look at me like, oh, you Trump and blah blah blah. I just like Trump because I like him for the reasons people don't like him. I like that he's rough around the edges. I like that he talks shit. I think it's funny. Is he very presidential? Maybe not. But hey, I mean, listen, I like Ron DeSantis. And I like Tulsi Gabbard a lot, and she's a Democrat. I don't know if you know who that is.
Nope.
I'm not too educated.
That's a person, if you're listening, look up Tulsi Gabbard. That's a person that could bring this country together. But the Democrats won't give her the nomination
Right.
because she's not in the establishment. And there's Republicans that do the same shit.
Right.
I mean, it's, you've got me going, but it's not partisan at this point. To me, it's not. Because I can disagree with you on abortion or on other hot button issues of this racism shit, but at the end of the day, dude, we're all American. If there's Chinese tanks rolling down the street, you think they're going to only kill the Republicans?
Right.
No, they're going to kill us all, dude. The people that are fighting against me, I'm going to have to go, I'm going to save you.
Right.
Like, I'm going to have your back because I may not agree with you what you have to say, but I'll die for your right to say it.
Right.
That's what this country's all about.
Right. You're right.
I admire how passionate you are. Doesn't
I'm
matter
glad
about it.
I appreciate you letting me get that out.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, that's fine.
It's,
I'll be honest, you surprised me today.
Always does.
I really thought your views were very one-sided, and you make it seem that way over social media. And I don't know.
Okay. Why? Is that just your perception?
Okay, no.
Just what it feels like. It feels like everything, you
I agree.
never push the Democratic view.
What is there to push from the Democratic view?
Anything you've talked about today.
Who was the girl you just referenced?
Tulsi Gabbard, but
Yeah.
she's on Fox News all the time. They've annexed her from the party because she has common sense. Like Democrats now that identify as Democrats are probably Democrats of like 2002. It's not the same party.
Yeah.
And it's not
Not the
people
same
on
world.
but it's not people on the street. I mean, I have a Democratic mayor. I have a Democratic boss. And she'll probably listen to the show. I love them to death. Like, I have nothing against them. We'll probably disagree on some hot button issues, but they do their job and they have the best interests of the people in mind. I don't think that Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or Nancy Pelosi, I don't think they have the best interests of the people in mind. I think they've been bought, and I think that there's Republicans that have been bought too. Who the fuck voted for $40 billion to go to Ukraine? All the Democrats and 75% of the Republicans. So that's a partisan issue. Fuck you both.
Right.
Honestly, you could have spent that. Jesus, sorry. You could have spent that $40 billion to put in security for the schools to help keep kids safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could have done. You could have tried to eradicate more crime in these cities that have murder rates that are through the roof. You could have tried to do good things in our country, but instead you sent it to Ukraine. Why? And I don't have the answer, but why?
Right.
If your mom was dying of cancer and your neighbor broke their foot, would you pay their medical bills first or your mom's? Like,
Eat your own
think
plate
about
before
it.
you pick off someone else's.
Lions, like the male lions, like they have their kids or the woman like go and fight for them. I'm pretty sure, and the king hangs back. Like they have them. Does that make sense? Like so, like they know they have to protect themselves in order to be the best. Like just like John said, actually, loop it back to Julius. He
Clickbait.
said,
Check it
if
out.
this is empty, I can't pour anything to you. I have nothing in my glass. But if I'm selfish for enough time and I have enough in my glass, now I can pour it out, right? Like that's like another mindset that's horrible, like capitalism's bad. Look at people that were selfish for 10, 15, 20 years, like you guys will be, because, you know, this podcast will be huge. It'll be successful. And in one day, you'll say, hey, I'm going to donate money for this cause and for this cause and for this cause. But you're not doing it now. You're going to be selfish to an extent, like, hey, we're going to save our money. We're going to invest our money with gross investments. You know, we're gonna do all these things and kind of say, hey, we're going to rein it in and we're going to make ourselves successful before we try to help other people. That should be, in my opinion, that should be the mindset that America adopts. Like, let's get our people right. Let's take care of everybody at home. And then when we do that, or we do it for the most part, then let's branch out and do whatever. And like what you were asking me before about like who like should we be meddling in other affairs? There's two schools of thought militarily. One is keep everybody reined in at home, don't get in anybody else's business. The other philosophy is be everywhere, just have a small presence so you can see and know what's going on. I don't know enough to offer an opinion. I've talked to people like friends of mine that are in the military and stuff, and they have different viewpoints. It's kind of interesting. Sure. But like you're like, do we need to police the world? I don't know, but you know, if that's a whole other thing too. If you get used to America winning and winning for the past 250 years, do all these countries look at each other and just go, we're sick of these motherfuckers? Like, let's just take them out.
It's like the Patriots. Fuck the Patriots.
And that's conspiracy shit. But like, I say this is a good joke. The only difference between a conspiracy theory and reality is 6 months. Or a year, whatever. So,
You're an idiot.
So did you want to talk about the current debacle that the Browns have themselves in?
I was just going to
let's
say,
touch on
our
it.
bond last year, okay, we kind of, after we had our little show, Preston and I were Baker guys. We weren't Baker bros. Listen, we were fucking Browns fans that just rooted for our fucking quarterback.
Yep.
I don't understand why people like you think
Case
that's
Keenum.
like that's
Like
like
me.
fucking.
Hey, it's another label.
Case Keenum was not
Another label.
You were the biggest like fuck Baker. Like, listen, guy played with heart. He wanted to be here. It felt I was just gonna root for him. He was the guy that was suiting up on Sundays. That was my logic.
Sure.
We admitted when he played like shit. We admitted. You didn't admit when he played good though. It was, it's the Bengals. It's
the running backs are so good.
I could throw behind that offensive line. Listen, now it's a whole different situation. We can talk about Baker and the whole Deshaun Watson debacle.
Yeah.
I guess we'll pass it around the horn. This is a tough little debacle. Preston and I, we haven't talked about this since the week before Watson came to the Browns.
Yeah.
We said Watson will be a Brown by our next episode, and he was.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm like,
I love
I
this.
see more and more reports coming out, and
There's truth there.
my
There's
heart,
no way
my
there's
heart
not truth.
breaks because I just know that some of those girls, some shit happened,
Okay.
and
Sure.
I mean
You don't have that
that
many people coming out. If it's
that
not
dude
true.
just
Yes,
got
right.
paid so much fucking money, and those girls just got violated. Like, just imagine that being your sister or something. Like, that's
You're
and
right.
she's trying to speak her truth, and this dude just gets the biggest payday ever.
It's insulting.
I question where the men are in that conversation because if that shit happened to my sister, I'd be going to jail. So, I mean, really. But here's what I've heard is just in regards to that is that he would like kind of offer. He'd like
Yep.
make his offer in a weird way.
I would imagine the tip would be pretty good if you went along with it, right?
Right. And then I guess like some girls would say okay, which like naturally he's a football player. Like some people go along with it, and then
Yeah.
some girls don't. But what I heard, guess again, just what I've heard. I haven't really paid a lot of attention to it. Once they offered it and they said no, he kind of left it alone. But I don't know if that's true because I think like to me like hey, you go up to a girl, you hit on her, and she says no, right? All right, maybe you try one more time and she says fuck off, get away from me. You should get away. You don't keep it up.
Yeah.
Like so, do you fault me for walking up to the girl and hitting on her to begin with, or when and we're talking about someone?
This is a
Right,
little different.
massage parlor, it's a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
different, but that's the principle that I'm putting out.
You also have to remember that a massage is in a room alone, and
Yep.
that is a big motherfucker, and these girls are
It's way different.
probably
Yeah,
not big.
100%.
You know what
And
I'm
I'm
saying?
sure he probably had a
100%.
security guard. There was talk with like the Texans; they were signing NDAs. They were booking
Yeah.
him hotel rooms and they were signing non-disclosure
That's
agreements.
weird. Like what a
Yeah.
weird.
So like they knew if that's true, they're fucking just as bad as he
They're
is.
fucking horrible. How
Yeah.
does not one man in that fucking organization say, no, this
Where
is
are
fucked
the
up?
Where are the men in our society? Where are they?
Right.
Where are they?
Right.
Now,
You
can
want to
I?
emasculate him? It's
Yeah, I want your opinions. Okay, I know it's a little different with massage therapists and whatnot. 66 women they said he met with over 17 season or 17 months.
Should I just start stacking these up?
Get it going. So 66 women, okay? That's a gross number.
66.
They said not
66
have pressed
in
charges, but
17
they
months.
said that they confirmed that he met with 66 women, okay?
Jesus
I believe
Christ.
24 have pressed, done whatever, and I heard 25 and 26 are on the way. I want to just ask you guys, I want to toss this out there because this is the point I've thrown, which is a little weird to me, okay? No matter what your profession is, okay? We'll say financial advising, okay? If there's a high-end culprit that comes to you, okay, and does some weird shit, okay? We'll say Baker Mayfield, just to throw out another name, okay? And just hear me out here, okay? And he does some weird shit, like you have a meeting with him, and we'll just say he takes his pants off. I'm just saying something weird, okay?
Okay.
You move on, right? You don't see him ever again. He goes and does it to the next guy. You tell me, you financial advisors, no one's like, you guys don't talk about, this word doesn't get out that this high-profile athlete's fucking doing this? I guess were they signing shit that said they couldn't?
I mean, but how...
66 women in the same area?
It's as simple as him saying, like, don't say anything, or like,
You're right.
I'll have you taken
But
care
there's
of.
there's always
That
that
dude has
one
a lot
Howie
of fucking
Gross
money.
out there that's not afraid to fucking say something, right?
I wouldn't be
Yes.
afraid at all. I don't give
Well,
a fuck.
yeah, but you're different here.
Yes, until it comes to like sexual things. Then I think it's a whole different world.
Well, I would expose it. It would be different. I mean, how could you sleep at night knowing that you're allowing that to go on?
Yep.
I don't know. And again,
It's
I
different
think,
though because we're in the male figure here,
And-
so I agree. I think it's a little
Right.
different on your
I've never been in that position. It's hard to speak on
Yep.
how I would handle it.
your spot. But I'm just saying, 66
It
women.
depends on the scenario.
You're telling me number 45 had no clue what she was getting into? I find that like fucking hard to believe. I think the money was good. Some people were
Well,
liking
no,
it.
how would someone in Brunswick, Ohio, know what's going on in Texas?
They were majority
It's-
in Houston, though. There was a majority of that 66
So
number
what?
stayed in
Are they
Houston.
sending out an APB in every other state? I mean, that's
How many masseuses are there in the Cleveland area? There's a good amount, but like you're telling me none of them
I
ever
don't
talk?
think they're talking.
On a high fucking profile, not Jarrett Malia. We're talking fucking the star
This shit
quarterback.
happens. This shit happens. Strongsville got popped some fucking
Yeah.
place in Strongsville for giving out.
Now
little
imagine if
handjobs
that was
in the-
Baker Mayfield, one of the biggest faces in your community. You're telling me no
but
one's
he's
saying
not
anything?
going there.
But here's
he's
the
not
thing.
going to the place.
There's listen.
just saying.
There are to me there are three sides to every story. There's yours, there's mine, and there's the truth.
Yep.
So something's going on.
Yeah. He's fucking weird. I think we can all agree
He's
on
a
that.
weird. That's a weird little fetish
Yeah.
he's got.
And
That's-
66 people don't lie. I'm sorry. Well, 24 or whatever the number is now.
Nothing would surprise me anymore. And
Yeah.
again, if he is guilty, then fuck him. But if he's not, then whatever. There's a difference between you being a weirdo and you being a literal offender, I think. Like, you can, like, some guys hit on girls and they don't know how to do it and they're creepy, but they're harmless kind of thing. And there's some guys that, like, there's people out there that have ill intent.
Yep.
I think there's a difference.
Listen.
This dude had
Listen.
power.
But I don't know. Dude, it's not up to me to decide. I mean, I hope that he plays football for us and that he is innocent as the day is long. But the more time that passes, the less likely that looks to be the case.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know.
Listen,
Yeah, it's
if
bad.
we're sitting on the couch right
Baker's
now,
going to be playing next year.
probably, if we're sitting on the couch right now watching Fox 8 News and it pops up that there was a guy with
I'm a CNN guy, by the
66
way.
All right, fuck off. If there's fucking 66 people met with between the span of 17 months and just a random dude pops up on that screen, we're being like, fuck that guy, he's a pedophile.
I don't think it's as weird. I think you're just like, yeah, that guy's a weirdo. You
But
move
what-
on. I think
But then it comes out that there's 25.
What is the
Cases filed
What
against
is the
him.
accusation? Is it a sexual assault?
I mean,
is
the-
it rape?
the-
what is
The latest,
the charge?
the latest
Misconduct,
one,
right?
the latest one was that he said, massage my inner thigh. He whipped off the towel and started pleasuring himself.
Apparently, he asked the one woman to stick her fingers in his butt or some shit. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. That's fucking what I read. It was probably like a Twitter fucking dupe, but
So that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
That's fucking bizarre.
that's a weird story to make up. I don't know.
I don't really have an opinion to offer on that.
Well, you can't have an opinion because we don't know the truth,
Yeah.
like you said. Obviously, I think we all agree if the motherfucker's guilty, he's a dickhead.
Let's say
And I
that.
hate we gave him all that fucking money.
Oh, that was. Listen, we'll get to that in a second. If what you're saying is true, if it's truthful, and here's the thing, he's not actually. He's not like grabbing these girls and doing shit. So that's a decent sign. What he's doing is still fucked up. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It's weird,
and it's
yeah.
gonna make people uncomfortable. Even if you don't touch the person, it's a form of really like sexual assault or
that's
Yeah.
fucked.
misconduct,
Yep,
whatever. Like
no doubt.
unless the girl takes the towel and throws it off,
Right.
then it's fair game. But you have to have two people that are willing. If you don't, you've got a fucking problem. I mean, I wouldn't want to fucking support anybody like that. So that being said, I mean, did he hide it well and just knew that the Browns would fucking sucker him in and get $240 million and
yeah.
he'd walk away? I mean, why are we paying this guy this much money?
And-
I'm not a huge Baker fan in the sense of his play. I'm a huge Baker fan in the sense of his heart and his attitude.
Right.
And I think that
Sadly, attitude doesn't throw the football.
I think in the right scenario he'll be successful. But this isn't the right scenario. I think that you want to go, let's go conspiracy. I think Stefanski was sabotaging the kid on purpose. I really do. I think that Stefanski wanted him out and he was proving his point to the head office. Why do you got a guy playing hurt and throwing the ball 40 times a game when you've got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt? And who's the other guy that came off the
Dearness
bench?
Johnson.
That's a fucking freak. He's incredible. He would start on half NFL teams. Like, our running tandem's nuts. Our O-line, he has the longest time to throw, and Baker's back there, like, nervous. Probably because he's hurt, and probably because he looks like fucking Happy Feet. If you've ever seen the movie In the Pocket, he's
and
dancing
he's fucking
back
throwing
there.
to Pee Wee Herman.
You know what happened is Parker's dad was talking to me about Baker, and he got in my head, and I just, ever since he pointed out Baker's shortcomings, they just became so apparent to me, and I'm like, yeah, he's not that good. But he can be good. I think he can improve. Like, put that dude in New Orleans or something. He'll run a show. But Deshaun might be behind bars,
Why?
so I don't...
Yeah, no, seriously, like, does he get all that money if he goes to jail? Do we know?
Guaranteed? Yeah.
Who knows
But I
in the
think
contract?
there's something where, like,
Guaranteed.
It's guaranteed to a sense.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's guaranteed.
That's what it said, but
and what
there could be something in any contract.
what
fine
due
print.
diligence did the Browns do to the point where they're like, you know what?
Did you do it? Did you do it?
They asked him.
No? Okay.
They asked him.
Shake my hand. Tell me you didn't
We
do
trust
it,
you.
and we're good.
They asked
trust
him.
you.
They asked him 66 times. Did
We're
you do
good.
this one? How about this
Hey,
one?
don't worry about it. We'll cover it up. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what that was. That's bad.
No, but listen,
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
it's a lot of
And
money for not a big franchise.
Baker's so pissed he would walk. Rather.
Oh, yeah.
He's not gonna
I
play
mean,
another down.
from Baker's perspective, they just fucking paid someone $250 million that has 26 sexual misconduct charges.
We're that desperate, though.
I bust,
That's sad
I
about
bust
our
Baker's
franchise.
balls, and I was never huge on Deshaun. I just think that if we had an average QB, I think we would go far.
Yeah.
I think he was getting in the way last year, and I think that he was getting in the way not only because of his own shortcomings, but also because the coach was not calling good plays. Like, if you looked at our play calling last year, like when we played Baltimore, I don't have a question as to whether or not Stefanski had money on Baltimore. My question is how much. Because there's no other reason that you have a hurt guy out there that's struggling all season and you run the ball with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb a total of 7 times, and you can fact check me on that. 4 carries, I believe, by Kareem and 3 by Chubb, something like that.
Are you talking about the Sunday night game?
When we lost by 3,
Yeah.
we should have won that game by 100.
Well, that right before the half, the
What are you-
screenplay.
what are you-
Baker just fumbled it. I don't
what
know
are
what
you-
the fuck he was doing.
But why are you making him throw 35 times when you have the two of the top, Chubb's top 3 and Hunt is top 15,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
No, you're right.
they get a total of 7 fucking run attempts. Like, what are you doing? Like, an idiot can figure this out. So it's like, we're going to blame Baker for that? Like, this doesn't make sense. But that's why I say, again, you guys had this perception when I came on the show that I'm just this right-winger conspiracy
No,
theorist.
you hated Baker Mayfield. We have
No,
text
you
to prove
did.
this.
He drove me fucking nuts. I just he couldn't get out of his own way. It's incredible. I love the guy. I'd love to have a beer with him, but he just couldn't get out of his own way. And furthermore, Stefanski sabotaged the kid. He did. I'm telling you,
That's a conspiracy.
he did. He didn't
don't
want
know.
him there. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think we would have been better off getting rid of Stefanski and giving Belichick $240 million. And see what happened. Then this guy that's getting
Baker would be a Super Bowl quarterback.
$60 million a year salary to sit in fucking jail.
Dude,
That's Deshaun Watson.
it's all just.
And
I don't know.
I hope that he's innocent, but I'm not really into rooting for a guy that does that to women either. I'm really
Sure.
not. I
The
mean,
sad part is, I think off the field and obviously outside of a massage parlor, the dude has done a lot of good too. Like, gives back all the time. He takes his
Especially
money.
now.
Well, yeah. See, now he
Guilty
literally said-
conscience?
I
Guilty
do want to
conscience?
say though, what I will say, if you're on the side, I have a little,
grief.
a little bit of ammo. If you're on the guilty side, like that fucker shouldn't play for us. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little ammo here. That motherfucker looked in the media, okay? He's been saying, I've never assaulted anyone. I've never made anyone, tried to make anyone feel uncomfortable. Maybe that's true. He's being smart with his words. He also did say he had no idea what the fucking Browns contract offer was to him when he knew he was coming to Cleveland. That is the biggest motherfucking lie. So, like, anything else that guy says, it's like, is that true? Because there's no way you just said,
There's
let's go to Cleveland.
Yep.
Like, you had a general idea of what that contract was.
No,
In fact,
he knew
he turned-
exactly
he-
what that fucking contract
he
said.
turned the offer down, and then when they guaranteed him the max, he accepted it. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's a weird situation. Like we said, we're Browns fans. We don't want us to suck, but
If Deshaun's the player over Baker, I'm good with that. I'm not good with how either side handled it. I don't like the fact that Baker was making these posts before the news came out.
Farewell.
And I don't like the fact that the Browns said you're our guy when they weren't his guy.
well, they told him
I don't
apparently
really-
they said even Baker's party came out and said they were going after who they felt were top-notch quarterbacks. Elite quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson was a top 5 quarterback when he was on the field.
But if it was Aaron Rodgers, I don't think Baker would be that upset.
No.
But Deshaun's
No, it's the fact that
Deshaun's
he's
not
fucking-
Deshaun's not
I hope to
elite.
God.
He's not. Take that for what you will. Deshaun Watson isn't Aaron Rodgers. That's ridiculous.
Right.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. To even put them in the same breath is
Yeah.
stupidity.
Deshaun doesn't win a lot of games. Tom's pointed that out to me. We were watching Deshaun's highlights, and
Yeah.
he was like, lost this
He
game.
didn't have a lot of help. I don't
know.
think.
The one they went to the
DeAndre,
playoffs.
I know that,
Yeah.
but I mean, the O line here is really good, and our running tandem's crazy. I mean,
It'll be interesting.
Our windows like you have a window, right? I mean, these players are going to leave at some point. I mean, you
Yeah,
have 2 more
you can't
years
pay everybody,
max.
and they get old.
And you start from scratch. It's
But you need a quarterback.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers does it with nothing every year.
Yep.
I think Baker could have done enough if he was treated properly.
Well, that doesn't happen.
They were
here.
asking
you have
him.
to play good.
They
to
were
be treated
asking
properly.
I mean not like that. They were asking him to do too much in terms of look at his pass attempts, look at the passes he's throwing. I mean, they're stupid. I mean, get
Joe
your
Burrow's
That's the
having
game.
no problem.
That's the game.
Joe-
though. That's the problem.
Joe
I get.
Burrow is top 3 right now in the NFL, and he is going to be the best quarterback, second best quarterback of all time behind Tom Brady. That dude is a freak. I would have
would take that
traded.
That is such a hot take, man.
That kid is going to be a nut.
How
He
many,
already is.
how many Super Bowl rings?
Who?
Joe Burrow?
How many do I think he'll have?
No, how many does he have right now?
He is 0.
No, he's accomplished just as much as Baker Mayfield.
On
Just
that
saying.
note,
No, I wanted one more topic.
He got to the Super
No,
Bowl.
he's a beast. He's a beast, and he's the ex-Buckeye.
That
yeah,
dude,
LSU.
that dude is an animal.
and his
Yeah.
swagger's fucking unmatched.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Did you hear him on? This is your Full Send. You hear him on Full Send?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that guy. I mean, he's
Full Send
serious.
podcast is fucking dope.
I watch every week.
Yeah, the Trump one, like
Yeah.
even if you're not a huge, like that dude's just
Yeah,
a fucking
it's so
goofball.
funny.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He genuinely. And then like Ricky
His dem-
Fowler's was awesome. I don't know
Yep.
if you watched that one.
Yep.
That's why I love the guy. His demeanors are so
Yeah.
funny. He's with his hands and shit. And
Yep.
he was talking about how good he is at golf. He's probably not fucking good at all. He
Yeah.
probably can't break 90.
Yeah.
He's like, John Daly says I hit a good drive. And it's like, the John Daly one was my favorite.
Yeah, John Daly
I
was
love
good.
that fucking guy.
All right, I got one last topic, and then obviously we'll just song of the week and piece it. But I got one last good one here. All right.
Sure. How long have you been going, by the way?
Oh, well, I don't know. It's on there. Probably like an hour. But regardless, last topic.
That's
I want
not bad.
everyone's thoughts on the Live Tour, the golf tour, PGA
love
competitor. You love it?
Yep.
Okay. What are your thoughts on all the drama and stuff that's going on? U.S. Opens this
John
week.
Rahm had a good take on it. I really enjoyed his, that the PGA Tour has the traditions and everything like that. But then you look at it from the other perspective, why does every other professional sport make stupid money but golf? And those guys grind. You know what I'm saying?
they make good money. if
No, they
they're
do.
good.
Hey, they make way
They-
more than I will
a lot
ever
of
make in my whole
sponsorships,
life.
too.
Yes, I agree. But at the same time, football players are getting sponsorships.
Football's different. I think football is an outlier because those guys literally put their lives at the line
Okay,
every time they play.
what about baseball?
No, but baseball is kind of a little bit lower than
They've got more games.
162. They're always on the road.
That allows
Okay,
them, that allows
yeah.
them to make more money because they have more money to give.
You're packing a stadium every week.
I agree with what you're saying. I didn't know enough about it, so this originally started. I was looking into, can you guys explain to me what Phil Mickelson said that was so off the rails? I read what he said. I didn't have any issue with it.
Wasn't it something about the Saudi people? Because that's who were
Yeah.
funding the Live Tour. He made a comment about how
That he
they,
wouldn't mess with them, but now he recruited all those guys to the Live Tour. I mean, and he's making money on the back end. I guarantee it. That'd be my
My
again,
argument.
it's-
I'm all for it. I'm with Preston on the Live Tour.
Yeah.
But
I am too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I looked at you both right now and said you guys can have your same job, I'll pay you 20 times as much money,
Yep.
and you're gonna work less time. You're
Yep.
gonna take it.
Yep.
Probably.
As a man, honestly, if someone's presenting you that money, are you not taking that to take care of your family? Make it. I mean, how
you
do
can say
how
money
do you
doesn't
not?
buy happiness. They're still doing what they love.
Yeah.
They're getting to
They get to play in all the majors.
It's 3 days. It's a shotgun, so there's not the
Yeah.
bullshit where you're starting 4 hours
Yeah.
after a guy. They're always on the course at the same time. It's
Yeah.
a 4-hour fucking day. They do it for 3 days, and it's
Yep.
they just made way more money, and the purse is bigger at the end.
way
I don't
bigger.
know. It's-
So then think about how much more effort they're going to put into each individual shot because they have one less day to play.
Yep.
It makes it all that much more important.
Yeah.
Yep, no cut. I have an idea for the Live Tour, if you don't mind me. This could be a good
Yeah.
little clickbait. All right, Live Tour, they take an average fucking Joe like one of us, okay? All right, I want someone that just I don't want a 1 handicap.
Yeah.
I want an average, you got to be in between a 7 to a 15 handicap, right in that range, okay?
Sure.
And you get to go out and play on the Live Tour for the 3-day weekend, and if you beat anyone, they're off the tour and you're on the tour.
I love that.
I think that'd fucking spark it a little bit. Obviously, I'm not going to beat someone, but You're
Yeah.
telling me, like, fucking there's just random Joe? You'd be all for it. Imagine final day, there's like a 2-shot difference. You're like, holy fuck, Jarrett's playing out of his mind. I think that'd be hilarious.
You're gonna see some
never happen.
massive,
Never happen.
massive comebacks. Like I think you're gonna see some like huge swings.
Okay.
I mean, no one's out of it. You're
Yeah.
never out of it.
Well, the guy that shot 26 over this past week was out of it.
Yeah, but what's the difference between the guy that's in last and the guy that's in halfway through the pack? There's got to be a big difference in how much you're getting paid out. You're still in it.
Right.
You're fighting that last day to climb the rankings, make more money. That's
Sure.
sick.
Brooks Koepka had a good point today, too, in his interview. It was yesterday, one of the days they were asking him about it. And he's like, we keep talking about this LIV Tour. He's like, we are playing at one of the most prestigious golf tournaments of, like, all time. And he's like, and all you guys want to keep doing is asking me about these. He's like, you guys are just overlooking one of the best golf tournaments. He's like, can we just not be thankful we're right here? And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's valid, man. Greatest game ever played, the movie. Like, I don't know.
yeah.
It's like, you got to
I
watch
still
it this
haven't
week.
seen that.
Oh, my God. You got to go watch it tonight because it's fucking...
I can't wait to watch.
It's U.S.
Model
Open,
One.
dude. Yeah, dude.
this
How about that
weekend?
kid? You see that kid from Ohio State? He played at Green.
We played
No.
with him at Green all the time, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Qualified for the U.S.
Yep.
Open. He's a sophomore at Ohio State. He's
So
playing,
sick.
Played with fucking Scotty Scheffler, Patrick
Yeah.
Reed. He's playing with all these guys in his practice rounds.
Dude, it's so cool.
yeah,
dope.
it's badass.
Dope. When's that going to be you?
In the
Pardon?
U.S. Open? Oh,
Pardon?
fuck. All right. Well, let's see. We have the bunker outing tomorrow. That might groom me for next year. What are we shooting tomorrow?
Dude, okay, listen. We've got me, you, Thompson, and Tim. Tim is going to put us in.
Tim's a good player, right?
He's going to put us dead center in every fairway with like a fucking wedge in.
Does he hit it far?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I like to hear.
Thompson just hits the last time I played, he just hits this big hook. I don't know if he still does that, but he hits it well. He's like a low 40s guy. He's good. You obviously are a very good putter. Very good.
I play all right.
You got a very good game. And
Scrambles help, dude. When you get to read putts from other people.
And I'm the best player in the 4-4-2 and 2. I mean, I just I don't know what
Especially
else
at Copper
to say.
Top before outings, dude. This dude is lights out.
Dude,
He's quick.
Preston is in the 4-4-1-3-3. So
149.
whatever. Hey, is it? Strikes was 2 zip codes. So give me a break. So yeah, I think we're gonna shoot low. I think and I'm excited that you're coming. So
It'll be fun.
You know,
I'm
we're
excited
gonna start drinking beers at like 8 a.m.
Where are you guys going?
Bunker. We right here.
Prior to Bunker.
There's like a continental
Nowhere.
breakfast
Oh.
or some shit.
It's there. There's a breakfast there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. By the way, I got one more question for you. I know you want to end, but I love keeping you guys over time.
No, that's fine.
It's awesome.
Putting us on the spot.
So I have my answer. I want yours. Like, is this your dream? Like, just running your podcast? Like, if you could wake up and do anything you wanted, money is no object at all. Like, I don't have to worry about money for the rest of my life. What am I gonna do?
So you're saying I have a net worth? I would say this would be cool, but that it's not honest to God. I think with the money brings in even cooler and better people. So it's way different. Not that nothing against you, but like imagine if we were sitting down with Joe Rogan right now. It's a little bit different of an atmosphere, right?
I would say.
Yeah. So
I
like
would say.
with that money
You
of
have a lot
freedom,
less hair.
Yeah. But with that money and freedom, kind of brings that a little bit because those guys kind of all associate with
Right.
each other.
So is that what you're saying, that you would
I would
say,
love-
hey, I
yeah,
just
I mean,
want
you're
bigger
t-
guests?
You're telling me like
This wouldn't be like. See, if I could come in here, man, record a podcast, and that was the last thing I did with it. Someone else took it from here, editing
Joe
shit
Rogan
like
probably
that.
does?
Yeah, I would do that.
But you just want to come in and do it,
Yeah.
not do
Have
all
the-
the work that
I don't
comes
want the back
behind
end.
it.
Well, you saw
Bullshit.
this one. Look at we literally. I didn't even bring my computer in today. I don't think you. I mean,
I
you
don't
brought your
have it.
iPad for the recording. That's what I'm saying. Like we came in here today, no script. That's what we like to do. Like that's what makes us cool. Like
I like it too. Well,
you know
that's
what I mean?
That's what Rogan does. That's
Yeah.
what all these people do. So
Johnny DeJulia showed up a couple weeks ago. We literally had nothing. We were like, dude, we'll just have a conversation. It helps. Obviously, we know you a little bit. We've had you on, so it's like, okay, we don't need to do like
see,
that.
but you guys have come such a long way because, like, even with me, like I come in here in the beginning, I'm kind of nervous, and then I loosen up. Like you guys are like in your natural habitat.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like, you got to be nervous about keeping the conversation
Right,
going and shit.
yeah.
Like you guys don't have any of that at all.
No.
Like, so as you continue to do that and you get into deeper conversation, I think that's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, they just want to hear people that they know from the community, whatever, just getting into like
For
good
sure.
topics. But
Yeah.
so it would be podcasting, but you would just want bigger guests.
Because podcasting isn't a full-time job if you're not doing the back end shit. Like I could come in once a week for an hour or
Sure.
2 hours and record
Sure.
a podcast. So
Well,
sure, yeah.
So I want to do a fucking podcast so bad, and I can't. Like, I feel bad asking either one of you to help me.
It's fucking no. It's a work. It is.
Yeah.
I would consider
That's
paying. I
yeah.
just like
No, I know
to
what you
me
mean.
like where I'm at in the world. I think the best thing that we could do is just talk
Yeah.
and get along and shit. Like I want to do that, but that's not my end. I'll be all. What's yours? You
I
got
don't
one?
know. I really don't.
When I'm 33 to 35, I'll have enough money coming in that I don't have to do much, and I'll literally work on my golf game.
That's your dream.
7 days a week, and I'll go for my card. I'll go to play in tournaments. That's what I'm gonna do in 7 years.
How do you plan on getting there?
Can I
What
caddy
steps-
for you?
Yeah.
The money or the
Yeah.
skill?
Not. You're never gonna be better than me, so we'll just get that out there now. The money. What steps are you getting there to achieve that financial freedom?
I mean, it's just it's gathering more clients. It's doing the right thing. It's just reaching more people. You know, I mean, doing things like this will help. But you
A
know,
lot of trust.
I don't chase after dollars. If I did, I wouldn't run businesses. I would do things that make me quick money. Right? I mean, my goal with financial planning and advising is, you know, I've always had a passion for it. I've always thought that it's lost on people. You guys are unique because you you know what's going on and you know like the right moves to make. You know, there's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of things that people don't know about. I felt that I could bring a different taste to my industry because I'm younger, because I have more of a diverse background in the sense of I've got clients that are 80 that have individual stocks. I've got clients that are 19 that buy $50 mutual funds, like, and everything in between. And it's not a one size fits all. It's, you know, you're different, you're unique. You could be 22 with the same job but you think differently about it. Hey, I don't like the stock market. I want to do real estate. Hey, I just want to buy individual stocks. Hey, I want to do this. Like, I don't want to preach my own stuff. Like, I want to give people enough information to come up with what they want to do and do it. And I think that if I continue to do that and continue down that path, at some point in time, hey, I've got a full-time job now. At some point, I'll say, hey, I've got to walk away and run my company. That's what I want to do, you know. And I have no problem sharing that either, because I look at it like this. When I talk to you, Jarrett, or your parents or whoever, I don't have to sell you shit because I have a full-time job. I work. I make money, right? Mm-hmm. So that should give you the inclination that there's no other thing on my mind other than doing what's in your best interest. I don't have to make a commission off of you. I don't have to do anything. I just want to do what's in your best interest. And as a fiduciary, I have to, right? Mm-hmm. I have to disclose all those conflicts of interest. And this isn't a sales pitch. It kind of sounds like it, but it's not.
It's working.
I genuinely just want to help people accomplish what they want to accomplish. Like, there's some people that think they need a financial advisor that shouldn't really even be in the stock market at all because they don't understand how it works. And there's some people that think that they don't need a financial advisor at all, and they really should have one because they've got their money rotting in the bank, making nothing, you know, which is better than losing 30%.
I would say it's not losing anything, though.
So, you know, I think that once that catches on and I hire enough advisors that I provide the right resources for, once all of that takes off, I'll make enough money to pursue the golf thing or do whatever. But to me, I want to make an impact in the community. And we talk shit about like all the negative things that go on in government and in the world. It all starts with us. It all starts at the grassroots level of saying, hey, we're going to try to be the best people that we could be. We're going to do things. We're going to get involved. We're going to go to council meetings. We're going to donate to causes that we back. That's what we're going to do, and that's how change starts. It doesn't go from the top down. It goes from the bottom up. My opinion. If gross investments can do that and be a part of it, and not when. I mean, we donate to certain things, but right now, again, I mean, we're donating very small amounts to certain charities. I'd like to write checks for 4, 5, 6 figures or 7. I mean, that's what I'd like to do and give back and make the community a better place. It's not about lining my pockets. So if I can make enough money to do what I want to do. I mean, I think that's the goal of running a business. But
Yeah.
the goal of a business is to do what? Do you know why you run a business? Why does a business exist?
Help other people.
Service people.
Yeah, that's what I would.
So you guys have a good answer because most people say, make money. It's to solve problems,
yeah.
right? If I could
Provide a
solve a
service.
problem and I could provide a better and different solution, I think money will follow. I think if you chase dollars, you'll chase them forever.
Yeah.
If you chase a process and you chase a business model that makes sense for your clients, I think that's when money comes in.
Yeah.
You're a beast, dude. That
For
was
sure.
good. That was a good ending. I'm glad you just got that out. That was good. That was a good question to ask him, too.
Yeah. Anything else to say?
No, song of the week real fast. Downward by Right. I just got to end it with a song, so we're just going to toss that out there. But,
All right, sounds good.
anything else? Anyone got anything? Before P-Dog takes us out. Before.
I would like to thank you both very much.
Round
And
two.
I am honored to have you in.
We'd like to thank you.
Our office.
You're a big reason why, where we're going to go. This little
You
place.
guys got to get a sign on the door.
Yeah, we should. It'll be, we can, we'll figure out what guy you used.
Sounds good.
No, appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, of course. P-Dog, take us out.
Thanks for kicking it back with Preston and Jarrett. Peace out.